All right, hello, hello. Welcome to Team Rise and Fit call for 7:15 already, halfway through the month. And we just got back from Summit and we're going to share some top takeaways. We've got some big announcements. We've got some good things to do. So many people on the screen that went and had a great time, a ton of fun. And I'm going to share with you my desktop because one, I've got a million tabs open, and two, I've got a presentation to start to keep us on track a little bit. If I can maneuver it around. Okay, can you guys see that yet? Oh, are you kidding me? Preview presentation. There must be something that's for sale. All right, can you guys see that? Give me a thumbs up. Yeah, okay. So, Summit shares and vision casting today. We're going to be talking a little bit about not only what we had, but what we can see going forward in the future for Team Rise and Fit, and for all of you individually as well, and kind of where we're headed. All right. So, now it won't let me advance. There it goes. Okay, the announcements that happened, just announcements for us, I guess, just team announcements. It'd be nice if I could like move this. There, now you're on the bottom, we can see everything. Announcements, 10 o'clock tonight, the 125 ticket expires. So if you have not yet purchased your ticket for Summit for next year in New Orleans and you want to get at the cheapest price possible, the 125 is non-transferable, non-refundable, but we all know that we have had people in the past that have used each other's tickets. Like, for instance, Tiffany had a Miracle Baby this year, or is about to have a Miracle Baby, and her ticket went to Chandra, and we were able to use it. Her lanyard said Tiffany, but we all knew the Chandra that we love. So that's possible to use people's tickets like that. And so 10 p.m. tonight, make sure if you are thinking about going, it's an inkling in your mind that you get a ticket sooner than later. That will also help us plan for housing. So if more people I've been seeing drop their codes underneath or their little screenshots bullet thing when I'm giving a prize away, $25 towards travel, whether you stay with us or you stay someplace else, they give you $25. And now, hey, your Summit ticket's only $100. So, well, I'll do a drawing for that tomorrow morning for the people that got their 125 ticket. Promo codes are for active coaches, $10 off. The TV stays the same. This is huge, guys. Like, normally and hopefully you all got your emails today. If you didn't, check your spam and all that kind of stuff. But every active coach, so also think about your spouses and think about your controlled accounts that you have. Think about those people getting emails as well, because every active coach got 3 promo codes to use that are $10 off the challenge pack. Now, what I wrote there was TV stays the same, is that when Beachbody puts out a 140 challenge pack, that means the volume and everything associated goes down too, because, right, it's got to come from somewhere. Like, Beachbody is just not going to take the hit of $20 off of something. So the volume was actually less, and we made less of a commission and made less of a team cycle kind of off of it. But this promo code is going to be for $10 off any challenge pack, and you get 3 codes to use. So it's perfect for you to hit Success Club with yet this month. They expire on July 31st. So you literally just have the rest of this month, the next 2 weeks, to get it taken care of. So $10 off a challenge pack. If you want to do the MM100 challenge pack, then it's already $160, which is super cheap. And then they could get it for $150, but 3 people like that. So hit Success Club with it and still earn an amazing income from it. If you hit Success Club with those 3 promo codes, you pay for your Summit ticket. Boom, right there. So isn't that a great way to just kind of make sure you're earning your investment? I think so. Tuesday, tomorrow, is the customer launch for MM100. Hopefully you've been using this process to gather names and do whatever. I have a list over here of people that I've been working with, having conversations with, and they all want to be customers. So I have 0 listed over here for actually challenge packs yet, but they're all listed here, and I've got their information that I'm sending them all share carts tomorrow. So I should be at Success Club, looking split, I would hope. They all follow through tomorrow. And then, so that launches tomorrow. Make sure you're there. July 27th, put this on your calendar from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's a Saturday Fixate and Friends event. We have our Super Saturday. It's the open house weekend for Beachbody. I'm going to register this week for it and open it up to more people than just our team as well. But hopefully all of you can be there. Bring a fixate recipe and bring friends. Bring people that you want to be a part of the team. And we'll probably do a workout right away in the morning. We'll kind of figure out that schedule is going to look like, however you guys want to do it. We'll be at the park here in Benton. We have the Hummel shelter. It's a big round shelter. It's got tables and all that kind of stuff in it. We won't be sitting on just big stones in the park randomly. There's a Ninja Park for the kids to play on, brand new kids play park there. And then there's like a big bandstand shelter area where we can, wants to know, child crying, I'm just shutting my door. Great mom of the year, right? So we have bring a fixate recipe, bring a friend to share, and we'll do a workout down in the band shell area. And then Summit Takeaways tonight is what we're doing. And then we're going to talk about path for moving forward in 2020. Will that be advanced? You think it will? Maybe. Oh, Summit announcements. All of this stuff is in your Coach Online office, so feel free to just go there and find all of this information, but just so you're aware to go look there. The Work is a 6-week fitness program that will be launching right after MM100 is over. So you'll be able to get on and we'll learn about that. All this stuff is, like I said, is in your COO. Collagen was released today. How many of you bought collagen at the Awesome? What do you love? Do you love it so far? I mean, it's only been a couple days, I guess, but Kara, have you been doing it? Awesome sauce.
Yes, and I put it in my tea and Energize, and it was amazing in both. Good.
All right. So collagen was released at Summit, and it's available today on the Team Beachbody store, as well as the activewear is available on Team Beachbody site. So, and the cool thing is that you earn volume off of the activewear. So you can actually send share carts for clothes. So if someone's asking you in your videos or your stories, hey, where'd you get those pants? Hey, where'd you get that tank top? Where'd you get those shoes? That sports bra, whatever, you can literally send them a share cart for those specific clothes now and earn an income off of it. So pretty cool, right? Kind of like our own little affiliate program for clothing. And then also it's a great idea to keep coaches active. So if somebody has a gazillion product sitting on their shelf because they're not doing very good at self-care, well, one, we should work on that. But two, if we need to keep them active or a spouse active of some kind, we can always use another pair of leggings, right? So it could feed our addictions. Okay, Special Shako is coming up in the fall and in the winter again. Pumpkin will be back. I found a packet of pumpkin while I was packing for Summit. I was like, where did this come from? It's in the bottom of my bag. So I'm excited to drink this soon, as well as get it again in the fall. They will have 2 order dates for pumpkin because basically coaches wiped it all out. We don't even know if customers got a chance to taste it last year. So there'll be 2 order dates for pumpkin, and then they'll have a very limited supply, very like we did pumpkin this last year for peppermint mocha in December. Beachbody is opening a new network in France in Q2 of 2020. So they didn't give us a specific date, but they're working on all the details. And just know that we'll be in United States, Canada, UK, and now France. So brush up on your French. We'll talk about that in a future call. I went to a session in the leadership track that talked about launching in the France, and there's a lot of good cultural things to know about and to think about as we start talking to people there. But there are plenty of people in the United States that need our help. So let's just focus here first. There's a vegan beach bar coming in 2020. New Shakeology.com website coming, I think was maybe launched that day. So a lot more specific information to be helpful words for us to use when we're talking to people. And then the promo code thing we already talked about. You all should have 3 promo codes to use. All right. Summit takeaways. Who wants to go first? What's your top takeaway? And then what's something you're implementing this week? Those are the 2 questions I have for you. I'm going to stop sharing so that we can see all your bright faces again. If no one volunteers themselves, I'm going to volunteer for you.
I'll start.
Yeah, Misty.
Okay. So I tried to upload my pictures, but it didn't work. So my computer's being slow. So I wanted to share a couple of the slides that they had in our leadership track. So those that were there may have seen this, but I can show my really amazing drawing that I have. It's not very good, but this is a picture of a tree. And what I found was really interesting, this was from Christina Delgado and Joan Cracker, and I really liked their presentation. They were talking about creating a winning team, and they were focusing on the different parts of the tree. And I guess I realized I'm a super visual person, and I didn't actually realize that about myself. So I could see the slide, but I'm like, I really have to draw this out myself to really understand it better. And so like the notes that I wrote down was like the culture for your team. You need to create the culture for your team. And some of the ways to do that is to share your goals, to know your core value and beliefs, recognizing actions of anything that they're doing. So if you have somebody who just consistently shows up every day, recognizing them for that. If they comment on people's posts or whatever it is that you see them doing, just giving them that recognition, even if it's something that maybe, you know, you have thought isn't really that big of a deal, even if it's just a private message. It doesn't have to be like a big, huge, you know, thing, but giving them that recognition. They talked about the core values, the roots. So I kind of focused on that because as I was kind of thinking about the tree and how it was put together, I guess I realized like their example of core values was kind of the obvious simple things like family and friends and, you know, your spirituality, like things that are very basic and kind of innate to us, or they are things that maybe were instilled in us as we were children, but what are our core values and beliefs now, and how do we use them as a leader in our team? And so I actually Googled core values and beliefs because I wanted to really see if there was something out there that would help me define my exact core values and beliefs, because I guess I wasn't really sure what they were, to be honest. And so I went to a website for, I think it's Barrett's Values Center is what it was called, but there is a PVA that you could take. It was an assessment online. So I took the assessment. I also did a CBI. I was on a roll last night. So I took a couple of tests, and it just kind of broke down like your strong points and the things that kind of, I guess, you're good at. And in the CBI one that I did, it said that my 60% of my my core values was wisdom, and the second was love. And so they talked about how I as a person would use my wisdom, and how then that turns into love because you're wanting to help somebody else with the knowledge that you have. So I thought it was pretty right on. There was a couple of really good points in there that I thought was awesome. So just kind of digging into what the information that they gave me deeper so that I could figure out how to apply them. Because the other option, you know, the other parts of the tree are the 4 vital behaviors, which we know. The branches are your culture, which is a little bit easier because your team is your team. And then having the fruit at the top, and having your team actually, you know, having that forward momentum and getting everybody to get to their goals. So if you know those things and you implement those things, everybody's going to grow and everybody's going to move. So that was like
the core values was the roots, and then how did it go up?
Yep. So it's roots, and then the trunk is the 4 vital behaviors, and then
the branches with culture.
Branches. Yep. And then I have fruit at the top, and it is. Sorry, I got to look at the other picture. The fruit at the top. Branches is culture, and then yes. I don't know I don't know where the picture's at. Like I said, I was trying to upload them and it wasn't working. So
Gotcha.
Misty, is it results?
was it results?
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. Way to
I don't have it written down. I thought I took the picture, but I can't find it.
Wonderful. Awesome sauce. I love visuals like that too. And like those two women are amazing at teaching leadership. So cool. So that was from the Diamond track.
Yes,
that
the second day.
Second day.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So who else has something? So this year was the first year that we've done a tracked system. So there was coaches and emeralds. There was diamonds, just diamonds? Diamonds, 1 stars. And then, yeah, diamonds and 1 stars. And then 2 stars and above was the leadership. So leadership track. So I've got stuff from there, but who else has something to share that they'd like to chit chat about? It could be from anything of the sessions you went to. It could be from the keynote speakers. It could be something that you learned Team Rockstar Fit Day or elsewhere. Jill, calling on you. You're next on my screen.
Oh, okay. So I would have to say that Team Rockstar Fit Day, Darla Henny, she really spoke to me. She talked a lot about leadership and how she really had to change her thinking on leadership. So she started off by talking about her own past and how she had small thinking. And basically she was saying that leadership is starting from scratch. And I almost feel like this really relates to where I'm at because I've had lots of changes, like with my business. There's lots of ebbs and flows that goes with this business. So basically she talked about excuses, and she talked about how you can either push through it or you can allow it to stop you, and that you really need to lean into the team and make it happen and find your place, because we all have a place, and not to ask for permission to be a part of this business and to go after your goals. And then she talked about how your job is to go first with your team, and you're going to try and you're going to fail and you're going to try and you're going to fail, and you just need to start over and just go with it. And what really spoke to me was with the inviting, she was talking about making authentic and unique messages with your inviting, but also providing value when you invite. So not only just sending the invite, but adding like a recipe to the invite, adding like a link to the Beachbody blog and attach that to the invite, send a recipe or like a sample workout from MM100 or T20. And then just remember that you need to give them something. Don't think about yourself and what you can get out of this, but rather give them something and bring value to what you stand for. And what else? She was talking about how leaders are created and they have to decide and then they will make it happen. So we basically, they're still watching you, and you don't have to decide for them whether they're going to be leaders or not. Just go with it. Don't like hold back or anything. They're watching you, and when they're ready, they will make it happen. And then she talked about just getting to know your team better, getting to know what they love, what they don't love, and ways that you can speak their love language. And some people love words of encouragement. Some people love gifts. Some people love all those other things. And so just getting to know them better and what speaks to their soul. So I think for me, the biggest thing is leadership for me. All of the things that we learned this weekend was just ways that I can be a better leader, because that is one area that I struggle with, is feeling like I'm a great leader. And it just comes from having that belief in myself. And so all of the leadership stuff really spoke to me this weekend.
Awesome. I'm glad the leadership stuff spoke to you. I'm guessing a couple of years ago, the leadership stuff would have not been the thing that you focused on. So that means you're growing and that you're moving forward, and you are an amazing leader. So don't sell yourself so short. Who wants to go next? Next on my screen is Leanne.
I was about ready to volunteer because I knew if I didn't, I just wouldn't do it. So I'm glad you called me out. So for me, when Mariah was talking at Team Rockstar Fit Day, she was emphasizing how you're the only one that there is. There will never be another you, but you have to choose to share your story. Mm-hmm. And so she said, when you cringe at that ugly picture, when you don't want to show up because the crap is hard, that's what you need to share. And for me, if you know me, that's totally where I am. Stuff gets hard. That's when I disappear. But she said, be sure that people, be sure that people that you understand don't feel alone. So for me, the depression and anxiety background, making sure that those people know that there's people that are there, people that are talking, people that are willing to listen and to help. And so that was a huge thing for me because it's not an easy thing, but it's what I need to do.
Good. I'm glad that spoke to you. Not everyone has something like that to come from, but if it works for you, then for sure, yes, make your mess your message. Sandy Budana said on the National Wake Up Call today that they don't have all of the things up yet, but they will in time. So it just takes time to, it's only been 24 hours, so for some of them. And if you saw how tired Darren Ashby was this morning on the National Wake Up Call, they're working hard at it. All right, next on my screen, Jess.
Okay, I don't have anything too earth-shattering yet because I'm trying to recover physically because I'm exhausted. But I did go through my notes, and more for me was more of just a few of the quotes that I took away, and I need to take more time to just really process more of that, and I was laying on my bed with my child earlier today, and pretty soon she's like, mom, you fell asleep. I was like, oh shoot, sorry. So anyhow, one of them that was said, and I think it was Danny that said it, I think during Team Rockstar Fit Day, was to have a CEO mindset, not a health and fitness coach. And I've labeled myself as a health and fitness coach for a very long time because that's obviously, that's all of our focuses, but at the same time, that is mine more because of my Hashimoto's journey. And I think Bridget and it spoke to both of us because we both looked at each other and said, yes, actually, we look at ourselves as a health and fitness coach, not as the CEO mindset part. So that was something big. Melanie Mitro said, what was the one thing that she ends her day with is she ends it with journaling. And she asks herself every single day, what was your impact score today? And that hit me because I thought, that would be a great way to end your day, because she said you want to end your day on a positive note where, there's so many days where we think, oh my gosh, nobody responded to my messages. Oh my gosh, this happened. But if you end your day by journaling on the good things, that can really change, your mindset and things like that. So I thought that was a big one for me that I'm going to implement soon. And then, and we actually had a conversation about this. I don't remember who it was. I think it was Jill, that said something that it was, don't compare. This was Rachel Hollis now. We don't compare where we are when we're secure. So, for example, we don't compare where we are when we're secure. You only compare when you're nervous or your insecure parts. So if you're looking at a picture and you're always looking at your stomach, or you're comparing to someone else's stomach, it's because it's your area of your insecurity or something like that. And like, I think in this business that / being in what we're in, we look at and compare, whether we want to or not. We're going to look at and compare other people's journeys. Like, you know, oh my gosh, Christina Delgado, she's a major coach, and look at how ripped she is. Look at those abs. And so it's like stepping back and really looking at why or where we're comparing ourselves to others, and really looking at possibly it could be an insecurity of ours, of something that we can work on ourselves. And then the last one, get your own results, because you are your storefront. And, you know, nutrition is something that I've struggled with, but Bridget is the exact example that nutrition is where it's at. So that's where it's time to start, you know, getting down on that, to be a different storefront, because I'm at a different place than I was. So that's it. That's all I got.
Awesome takeaways. And yes, nutrition is where it's at. And I really appreciated that they were talking a lot more about nutrition first versus fitness first, especially in the opening and like the first couple sessions. And that we have the entire package. We've always had the entire package, but now it's so much more of a complete program, and something's really for them to follow. They can either go 2B, they can either go all portion fix, so they're well laid out programs, or they can just be intuitive eating like you guys, and really figuring out what's going to work best for them. The Ultimate Reset this last summer completely changed the game for me again. Like, it's back to feeling my best, and it just takes following a program. And so figuring out what works for my body and what doesn't work for my body. So getting into the nutrition is super important, and you can't outwork your fork. So no matter how much fitness you do, you got to be able to fuel yourself right. All right, who's next? Chandra, you're next on my screen.
Did you say me?
No, but if you want to go.
No, go for it. I'm just bouncing between devices, so.
Gotcha. Chandra, go ahead.
You guys said it all, but first of all, thank you guys all for letting me come and join you guys last minute like that, and just taking me in and making me feel so welcome. It was above and beyond what I expected it to be. I've never felt a connection like that ever with any girls. So that's a whole nother story, but I just want you guys to all know that I really, really appreciate that. And that was my biggest takeaway, honestly. But on the business side, just Rachel Hollis really, really spoke to me about just getting rid of the negative self-talk, and being able to keep your energy up, and what you, how you talk, and I don't know, just not pretending that everything's okay, and it's okay to admit to your struggles, but also with some of the other speakers on how to talk about your struggles and your stories, but not like put it out there so bluntly to where you're being that negative person. You can turn it into a positive thing. So yeah, there was just a lot of, I don't even know where to start. I got so many notes, but it was just a great experience.
So you would be a testimony to say, if you're thinking about Summit and not sure, you should definitely go.
Yes, I signed up already for next year. So. Yes.
This girl literally hung on to the very last second to say, yes, I want to go. And we were like, of course we're going to make this happen. You are going, and it's going to be amazing. And we're so glad that you did.
Yeah. Best thing I ever did. So.
Yay. And I love the community is your biggest takeaway, and how amazing the team is, because it is amazing. So yay. And it sounds like you and Jill had great conversations there and back. So great immediate team time too. All right, who's next on my screen? Kristen, what were your takeaways?
Okay, I'm gonna try to not get interrupted, but we'll see how this goes.
Okay.
Okay, so I think TRSF Day is always like my biggest takeaways. Like, never ever go to Summit and not get your TRSF ticket because it's one of the most powerful days. So for me, it was not trying to do it all. Use what you can. And like, we're doing a Fit and Fearless sneak peek page, and Kara asked us to do like a short video of our story. And none of my kids napped at the same time today at all. And 2 of them are still kind of sick. So it's peachy keen. So I couldn't do it all today, but I did what I could. And that meant that I took just a little time. They were wound for sound today. And I knew that I could leave them inside to play for a little bit without too much chaos going on. And I went outside and I just did my video of who I was, who I am, where I see myself going. And then I uploaded it to my YouTube channel because I feel like I've probably made about 10 of those videos in the past, but never uploaded it to my YouTube channel. And so that was another takeaway that I took and that I implemented, was to put your videos on your YouTube channel, because then you've got it there, you don't lose it, and it's easy for you to share then as well, because you just have a URL that you're sharing. And then I took quite a bit away from Danny, but to like the most that I took away from was that work when your energy is highest. So I've always tried to do my work like super early in the morning, but let's be honest, like my mind is not clearest when I wake up at 4 a.m. So there's some actions I can do at 4 a.m. But if I'm trying to do like solid thought communication between me and a coach or me and a client, that's not my best time to do it. And so I am in the process of trying to decide like when I want to do what actions in my business, and rather than I've been a pocket coacher for a while now, but just becoming more solidified in my energy on when I should be pocketing what parts of my business. Eliminate distraction. That was super hard today, like I said, because none of my kids napped at the same time and they just were wild today. So what I did was I went outside. So I got to implement that already today. But normally that means that when it's nap time, my phone goes on silent. It's on silent most of the time, but I also silence my notifications so they don't even like pop up for visual, and use that time that way. And then focus on the 5% that moves the needle. So like I said, again, my kids were crazy today, and that meant that I didn't have a wild amount of time to work my business today. So what I did is I did that video, and I did my inbox work. I didn't try to do everything else. I didn't try to do like lots of creativity things, because I know that my creativity things are going to take more of my mental focus than I had available to me today. So I did what I knew that I could do, and I did what I knew was going to be vital for my business.
Awesome. Great ideas. And great takeaways and great implementation of things immediately. Love that you guys are doing a sneak peek and that you're all making your own videos. Amazing that you're making them into third-party tools right away that you can use and share. Great ideas. Pocket coaching, I put it on the side, but just so it's on the recording for others who probably have the same question. Pocket coaching is breaking your tracker up into smaller amounts of time. So if you don't have a full hour to do something, maybe you spend your 15-minute break sending invites. And then later you spend 20 minutes doing something else. Or you have 5 minutes while you're waiting for the kids to whatever, or 10 minutes while you're waiting for something to cook on the stove. Like, you have pockets of time throughout the day to get your stuff done. As long as you're getting all the vitals in, you're good to go. All right.
My one other takeaway I forgot. that she had was, I don't know if it was Danny, but it was somebody in TRSF Day, to not like, don't do just like short, like crazy bursts of work, like, but just do the small amounts and just be consistent.
Right. It was Danny. Small, consistent actions will beat impulsive activity any day.
Yes, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Exactly. All right, Bridget.
Okay, hi guys, I'm Bridget. I have so many takeaways. I've been trying to like think about how I want to stay in my head, and I know it's not going to come out the way I want it to, so I'm just going to go for it. I think this summit, which is my third summit, I just had my second year coaching anniversary. But this summit, oh, my nieces are in. I'm on a video. Just give me like 10 minutes. You can come watch. A future coach on Team Rise and Fit.
Hello.
Hello.
So I think this summit for me really like solidified my belief in the company. It really solidified my belief in our team, and it solidified the belief in myself that I don't have to, what I kind of jokingly said, be a chronic emerald. That this year is my year of action, and that I'm ready to do the things I need to do to move forward. In the ways that I can do that, I don't remember who it was that spoke and said it, but it's, and Kim, when we had talked on Friday night when you came around and he said, hey, what was your biggest impact? I'm like, man, I just said exactly what I want to say tonight, but I don't even remember how I said it, so I'm just going to go for it. But it was focusing on like impact and serving others, and with that compounding consistency of doing those things, that is where the income will come. And I've never been focused on income, but at the same time, it's those actions that are going to produce the income, which provides our freedom. So that was one big thing. And then also like understanding that we're all at different points in our lives, we're all experiencing different struggles and different joys, and then finding ways to celebrate those small, even successes. Like I put in that post, like just the air conditioning coming through, like we can celebrate those small things, and also celebrate the huge wins, like seeing Kim walk across the stage in her beautiful, super hot black outfit. I don't know if you guys saw that, but dang girl. I don't think I got to tell you that night, but I was like, I've never seen Kim look better. So I think it's about being okay with where we are now, and knowing that we're humans and humans need growth, and so continuous growth. And to kind of build on top of that, the thing that I'm applying is, I don't know if you guys want to help me out with who said this, but I've always said like knowledge is power. And over the last 2 years, I've really gained a ton of knowledge about my own health, about the, nutrition aspects of things. And I have a lot to learn, and I am experiencing a lot of struggles myself, but I've gained a lot of knowledge, but it's not knowledge that's power, it's applied knowledge that's power. And so the thing that I'm going to start implementing, and like Jess and I kind of had this conversation, is that I will do my tentative schedule in the morning, and I've really focused a lot on myself and my own personal miracle morning, and kind of pushed my power hour aside. And if I look back in my tracker, which is right here, the 4 boxes that are rarely checked are the initiate connections, respond to likes and comments, invite, and follow up with people that you've invited. And all the other boxes are consistently checkmarked, because those are the things that I focus and find time on. But then the other ones are like, I kind of did that. Like I can kind of check that off. Whereas now I'm going to apply the knowledge that I've learned. I'm going to serve others. I'm going to make an impact. I'm going to think each evening, what was my impact factor? And in turn, that is going to put me at a completely different place than where I showed up at Summit this year. And I can't be like more excited about it. I've already used one promo code. Rob is halfway to Emerald today. I have someone signing up with the promo code tomorrow. I have 2 coaches already signed up for Summit next year. And I literally haven't even been able to like do the gabillion things in my mind that I want to put into action because much like Jess, my body is completely physically fatigued. So I have to have that understanding, but I'm not using it as an excuse. And so my action is to apply the knowledge and do my power hour, eat the frog, do those hard things first, and those boxes will be check marked. And I am going to be an example to the coaches who have reached out to me already and said, I will be there with you. I'm going to be in your arms. That joke or that picture that I took that I was joking around like, oh, here's my team. Ha, ha, ha. I have 2 girls that are already filling those spots. And I don't know, you guys, like this is freaking amazing. And I'm probably going to start crying, but you are in the right spot. You need to get to Summit. You need to be there on whatever month it is, July in Vinton. You got to be the team. It's the live events. Like we are so blessed. Yeah, I'm going off. I see Jess is like, we are so blessed to be on this team. There are so many like stories and I try not to listen to them because I don't need to be flooded with it, but we are blessed to have this team and we are blessed to be able to work out in our own homes and not have to deal with people day to day, but it's the live events that we have quarterly that you really need to make it like, just make it a non-negotiable and be there and do your hard stuff. And one other thing was when they asked us, what are the excuses you say or you get, or what are your excuses for not doing your power out? This is one of the things that hit me. Sorry, it's coming back to me now. And then I'll be done because sorry. But
sorry,
they said, what are your excuses for not getting your work done? And what are those excuses? Time, money, fear. Where do we hear those all the time? The people that we ask to join us. We hear those from our potential customers. We hear those from our potential coaches. Yet we're using those same excuses to not do the work to build our businesses and make a huge impact on people's lives. Like when you think about helping someone physically be able to tie their shoes without grunting, like you have the ability to do that, yet we're making these excuses that frustrate us when we hear them, but we're saying them ourselves. So we have to just change that mindset. And I'm changed. I'm done with that. There's no more excuses for me. And I hope that you guys like follow in on this because it is like just the opportunity is just insane. And the impact that we can make on our family and friends and stranger avatars that we connect with on Instagram or whatever, like it is amazing. So, okay, that's all.
That's all. You are mute. You are amazing, Bridget, and I'm so glad that the light bulb clicked on for you this summit and that you're moving forward in a positive, happy, healthy way. You do have so much to share. All of you have so much knowledge to share, but watching your journey this last year and how you really tightened up on your nutrition and figuring out exactly what works for you, you have healed your body from the crazy things that have been handed to you in life. And you have so much knowledge to share, whether you're specifically talking to Hashimoto women or you're talking to any women that need work on their nutrition, talking about that, sharing that, and you do such a good job in your social media. So great job. I'm so proud of you. So, so proud of you. And I'm thrilled that you're bringing people with you to Summit already. You're just rocking your socks off. Great job. All right. Cooper.
All right. So My biggest takeaway is always Team Rockstar Fit Day. It was my favorite day last year and definitely was my favorite day this year. I was super excited to hear Mariah White. She is, I don't know, just one of my favorite people to follow. And so my biggest takeaway from her was, you know, just reflecting on who you are, who you were, and who you want to become. And then, you know, she said, cut the superficial bullshit, the high life. That was kind of my favorite part. And then to kind of go along with that, Teresa talked about branding and talking about your values and you. And sometimes I don't, you know, I talk about stuff, but I don't think I really dig deep into it. So I think digging up a little bit deeper in my posts, getting a little bit more emotional, just making myself sound more real to people and relate better to people. And kind of throughout all of Summit, different people talked about like finding your tribe and finding your people and kind of making out a list of, you know, what are you? You're a mom, you're a nurse, you're this, you're that. And so like, I think I want to like sit down and really think about, you know, who are the people that I think are like me that need this, and then going through my friend list and like finding those people and inviting. As far as implementing, I really want to work on my morning and getting it more organized. Kim talked about, you know, her alarms that she has set. So I definitely want to focus on a morning routine and finding what works for me.
Awesome. Great takeaway. I took away some of those things too from like the branding that Teresa talked about. I mean, I'd heard her presentation 3 times with our practices and things, but I always like, I'd heard all those presentations, like I said, 3 times, but that day I still took notes on all of their presentations on little things that I missed. And then as we went through the rest of Summit, there were more people talking about the same kinds of things, and just little idiosyncrasies of different ways they say it clicks with different people. And so I'm so glad that you guys heard a lot of the same things from conversations we've had before too, that you heard the same things from Team Rockstar Fit Day as you did in the network. And I heard a little bit of like, we've heard all this stuff before. Well, yes, but are you implementing it? What is something that you can actually take away and do something with now and level up yourself and keep going with it? So I love all those takeaways all of you have been having. I will definitely be passing along to the Elite and Premier leaders of all the people that you guys were talking about tonight, because they will want to know what you loved about it too. Miss Kara.
Hello. I wanted to start out with saying but Bridget kind of beat me to it, but I'm just going to emphasize it. The upline, the support, Team Rockstar Fit on down, like, I don't know of another organization. I've gotten to know so many other leaders in the organization through NLC, other summits, and I just continuously am so grateful that we have the organization that we do. I find a lot of coaches get overwhelmed with the layers and the all the groups, you know, from Team Rockstar Fit down. And I think the biggest thing is that you have to, instead of when you're feeling overwhelmed, choose to be grateful because you have an abundance of resources. It is just your responsibility to take action. We don't have to fish for knowledge. We don't have to fish for what's working, what's not. If you don't have a good support from your direct upline, you have somebody in that organization that is going to care about how you're doing in this business. So this is my 4th summit, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, this is my 4th summit too. And I always have gut checks at different summit, every summit, but this summit, like I don't know how many of you know this, but I am going into a very busy season. I've been in a busy season with the kitchen remodel, and I think the biggest thing has been, you're always going to be busy, even if you're a full-time coach, you're always going to be busy. The thought is how much are you like it when you're focusing, it doesn't matter how much time you have. You can do this business in a few hours a day. So I came to the conclusion that number one, when I am focused, I get my shit done and I can go about my day. So just like Kristen said, is when is my energy the best that I can control? So I'm going to be doing some tweaking to my schedule in the morning and at night. The second thing I'm going to do is create more third-party tools for my team. As a 3-star diamond, my vision goal is to be superstar next year. That's going to take a lot of heart, a lot of hustle, a lot of vision, which I think I'm good with vision, but I just need to communicate it more clearly and more often. And I need to do that in the one-on-one conversations too. So Wednesday night team calls are going to become one-on-ones for the leaders on my team, the ones that are showing up Wednesday nights with their tracker. And then they will get one-on-one time with me every week, as long as they're showing up. We're going to do that instead of a business builder page, because adding one more page just isn't I can't support it at this point. But like Kristen said, we're redoing the sneak peek page. We're going to redo an intro page just so that it's more intimate. Yeah, there's just tons. I think income wise, I have a lot of coaches that are looking at income. And so that's really exciting, because we have to think about this as a CEO. We have to think about how much we're getting paid to do this, because your time is so valuable. Get over your damn self. I believe that your time is worth $783 an hour. And I realize this is just a tangent, but I feel like there's gut checks for me as a leader, but then there's gut checks for like what I see, what my team needs. So that's been huge for me, because when you get to 2-star, 1-star, when you're really growing that team, yes, it's about what you're doing to model your team, but it's also about like going levels deep and making sure that you can go and help your team grow. So it's finding out what they need. And I think beyond like what we're changing and updating, it's more about, I really want to talk to my leaders and I want to see where they want to go, because I can change things, but if they're not, if it's not aligned with what they want, then I'm wasting my time. So let me check my notes here. Honestly, one of the biggest takeaways was getting in the diamond and 1-star track with Trina closing it up. I just made a video today. It was a 7-minute video with our sneak peek. And I talked about the 3 beliefs: the belief in yourself, belief in the team, and the belief in the company. And then I also talked about why people typically want to join our tribe. And it was like, oh my gosh, like it was right there on paper. Like I am usually the person that would take a video and have like 5 or 6 edits. Like I keep redoing it. But like I was able to go through that entire time. It was all laid out and it was amazing. So I'm so glad that I just took action and did it. And then now we're going to get our sneak peek page up this week. That's it.
Myself. So, yay. Yeah, I can send anybody that wants the steps of Trina's process, what her 5 steps are. I fortunately have access to her 24/7, it feels like. But anything that you want or need from her, I can get you any of that stuff. But yeah, it's Rockstar Mindset, Rockstar Strategy, and it's just a matter of spoon feeding your coaches and helping them get started. If any of you, I've started this way with several of my newer coaches. Amara's gone through this process. Teresa has gone through this process. It's just a matter of, and Chris, we kind of redid it with you a little bit, just getting people off and running and moving forward in a way that they feel comfortable with, and they can find their one thing and go with it and be successful, get those wins. So I'm super happy to do that with anybody that wants to do that. And again, I can get you anything that you want from Trina's presentation. Anyone else? Sherry, I thought you were like actually on, like you were just sitting really still, but it's a really good picture of you on the screen. It took me a while to realize that you really weren't live. Can you talk?
Yeah, that's in my classroom.
Oh, awesome.
Well, before it was
people thought you were just sitting really still.
I'd be so talented. Okay. I took a lot away. This was my first summit, even though I've been coaching for 3 years, come end of July. And I I talked my husband into already letting me do my ticket for next year. He said, well, if you're determined, you're going to go regardless of what I said. And I was like, yep. So that's fine. But my biggest takeaways were like really focusing on my 6 roles and making sure that I'm like, when you go to like the front or like the pictures or whatever, it's not just pictures of fitness or nutrition, it's pictures of lots of different things. So that's going to be one of my goals. And then as a diamond coach now, besides like the 6 roles and having more consistency and just like actually tracking and keeping up with it versus doing good and going bad, doing good and going bad. I want to be able to focus more with the challenge groups and my coaches. So some of my big things that I want to do with the challenge groups is make them more than just fitness and nutrition, because I want to show the challengers and our coaches that this is more about, it's more than just fitness and nutrition, but it's about life, and that we care about them in every aspect of their life. And then I'm also going to do units for our challenge group, so that it's a little bit more self walk through when you add them in there, because everybody's at a different step. And then something I'm going to start in August with Morning Meltdown is I'm going to host Zoom workouts. So have my Zoom open and people can just jump on and see that other people are working out. And then I'm going to start my life calls back up. So.
Muted again. Awesome. I love all those takeaways. I love that you are starting to implement things right away. That is great. A couple of things that I had as takeaways. Does anyone else want to share anything before I go? Anything pop in? Some of the things that were most prevalent to me, I guess. I don't have notes on my paper for the first couple of presentations because I was holding a baby. So I recorded it on my phone and I'm gonna redo it again. I was hanging out with Bianca for a little while, but the parts on Saturday when I was in the leadership section, one thing that I'm super thrilled that corporate is now talking more about is volume and how to maximize the comp plan. And so this can be, it's completely own Zoom, and so I won't spend a ton of time on it, but really focusing in on 3 questions when you add a coach, and really being strategic and being CEOs about when and where you're placing coaches in your organization. And the faster you can get to 2-star, the better, because that gives you more options on where you place and how you can make income in this business. So I know Kara definitely has experienced this. We've got 1-stars coming up the rank with Amanda and Holly in there, and anybody that wants to know specifically about your business, we can do one-on-one calls. I met with Holly and Amanda earlier today. Then we even brought Julianne on for a little bit because we had a couple questions. But then I'm meeting with Stephanie tomorrow morning, and anybody else that wants to talk very specifics about your business, because there is no one answer. Everyone's business looks very different, and these decisions will be different for everyone. So when you add someone to your team, be thinking about who's going to sponsor it, so that person, where are you going to place them, and why are you going to place them there? And then really be thinking about if you going through all the places that you could put this person, where is it going to best either maximize your income, or where is it going to best help your rank? You have to decide first and foremost, where are you going with your business? Are you wanting to build for income, or are you wanting to build for rank? Because sometimes they don't mean the same thing. Now, if you're a very beginning coach, yes, you just want to get to Emerald right away, and then you want to add the typical answer is when you get to emerald, then you go 1 to your strong, 2 to your weak, 1 to your strong, 2 to your weak, and get yourself to diamond. And then from there, then you get to start to play with it and really think about where maximizing your income would be at, and really developing a solid diamond first, and then playing with some of those things. So really playing it out, because when you look at where you're putting somebody on like the first option, this is the easy on the outside leg, might only help you cycle once, or even like half a cycle if that volume doesn't actually make a full cycle happen. You know, you might get like, Doug Moss is the one that did this presentation. He always puts a number to everything. So like, if you just made a strong leg stronger, then you just earned like $6. You know, that's not even a full cycle, but like it helped get halfway to a cycle. And then he's like, but if you might stay, the spot may stay balanced. Like you may not fully have a cycle yet there. And so that's still $6. But if you got to a spot where you had a week got stronger and the strong side stayed where it was supposed to be, then now you might get up to like $24 or even $40, depending on how many CVCs you're trickling through. And if you are really wanting to maximize income, you should be really thinking about running orders through your controlled accounts, whether that's your household accounts, whether it's your spouse, or if it's a controlled account that you have through like a mom or a sister or a best friend, like however you have that situation set up. Today, talking with Amanda and Holly, talking about using their boyfriend's accounts to run those things through, because personal volume to them becomes team volume to you, and you cycle on team volume, not personal volume. So for me, with having 2 CVCs and Josh's account, all my orders and all my coaches go through my second CVC right now, because that personal volume in my second CVC becomes team volume that he cycles on as a coach here, and then as team volume that I cycle on as my first CVC. So I'm getting paid on that same thing 3 times. And so it's just I know a lot of this is going over a lot of people's heads, but I just want you to know that there's a way to get paid more than sometimes just going through challenge packs and running through things. So the faster you can get to yourself to another controlled account and thinking more about your household income, and then also getting yourself to 2-star faster so that you can do those kinds of things. And then we talked about, the next presentation was about the France launch that's happening second quarter next year. And there's a lot of things to be thinking about culturally in that launch. But my biggest takeaways for the time that I was at Summit were from Lindsay Matway and Kim Fitzpatrick in the leadership track. And those are the 2 that I have audio on my phone and not notes on my paper. Lindsay Matway's was about vision casting and really talking to teams about where it is that you're going, and showing yourself, really knowing where you want yourself to go in clarity and what your purpose is, and then going that direction. I believe it was Rachel Hollis that talked about, maybe it was Jade Simmons that talked about how we don't question other people, or other people don't ask us permission to do their jobs. So why are we allowing other people to have influence on how we do our jobs? So if you know where you're going, if you know that this is what you want to do, if you have a vision for where you want to go, no one stands in the way of that, and you just go do it. There are always going to be people that think you're crazy. There's always going to be people that think that what you're doing isn't good enough, or but that goal is not for them, and you shouldn't worry about those people, even if those people are on your team, because if that's what they think, then they're really not a part of your tribe, and whatever. You can still go get your goals regardless of whoever is in your life and doing those things. And the stupid fly is on my screen right now, but I'm just going to let him be because I don't want to smash my screen. All right, but if he flies at my face, I will jump. The second part was from Kim Fitzpatrick, and she was talking about the highs and the lows, and she specifically shared a story about the year that Jamie, her husband, went elite and she did not. And it was super powerful to listen to that story, because not only did she not hit elite that year and she was crushed by it, but within 10 minutes, she got a phone call from Jeff Hill to come speak at the NLC conference that February, the NLC conference, in fact, that I went to, and she killed the stage there as well. But not because she didn't hit that goal, but because she was a leader. and that she shows up for people and she serves people and she adds value to people all the time. And that's really what you should be hanging your hat on, instead of fancy titles and things like that. So it's just creating the vision that you want for yourself and knowing who you are, having clarity around the goals that you want to achieve, and then moving forward towards those goals despite what anyone else thinks or says about what you're doing, right? Now, that all being said, there's definitely some things that I have as goals that I'm going to talk about, and we're already at 9:15, so maybe I'll share it next week, because I don't really want to hold you all up. But just know that this team is going to be going places this year, and I already feel it from the people that are on the screen. I heard from a lot of people on our team, but also other people that we were just staying with, that they were tired, or that they were grateful for the fact that they already knew a lot of the stuff that was in the sessions, because yes, we have an amazing upline. Trina is always pouring into us. Juliana is always here. Hopefully you feel like that I'm always giving back to whomever. Any of you in the downline, can come to me at any point. And I'm happy to share with you and help you build your goals. But the kind of complaint was that we already heard all that stuff. And the tough love response is, well, then do something with it. Level up and get yourself in another room next year. And so I'm super happy to hear from those of you that were kind of saying some of that, and that others, that hopefully that sunk in, and that you are going to do something with it, and you are going to level up and go places, because the bottom is crowded. All of you that go to Summit, you see those banners that hang above, and you know that the coach level is the biggest pot. And then there's Emerald, and if you watch how those Star Diamonds went across the stage, and even Times of Elite going across the stage, there's a lot of people that don't make it much farther because they don't have their personal development line. They don't know exactly what they want to do, and then they stop because they're not clear on it, or they're just, life gets hard. But if you really want this, let's go someplace with it. You don't have to have all the answers. And knowledge is power only if it's applied. So do something with it and go places with it. You all have something to share. You all have a story to share with people. You all have knowledge that you've learned yourself and you've applied to get your own results. And if you haven't yet, start with a program. Follow it. Share the journey. Do something with it. And then you'll be able to have information and knowledge for how it works for you and how you can share it with other people. Leadership is literally just moving forward one step ahead of somebody else. The quote I had on this slide that I haven't shared with you, because we'll talk about it next time, but I will as well here, is that this quote from Lindsay Matway is, "True leadership is an invitation to greatness that we extend to others." There's a catch though. We can't give what we don't have. We can't extend an invitation we haven't already accepted. And so for that point being, if you haven't lost any weight, you can still invite people to join you. But a lot of us feel like we can't do anything until we have our own results. Well, you can't invite people unless you're doing the programs and products too. If you're not being a product of the product, then no one's going to want to join you, right? But if you are doing the things and you are showing up and you are working towards something, people will want to go places with you. People don't follow people that aren't going anywhere. People want to follow people that are going someplace and have a vision for where they're going. So my question to you is, do you have a vision? Do you know where you want to go? Do you have things that you want to achieve? And be thinking about those things. You can't give what you don't have. So if you're not taking advantage of the things, the tools and resources that are in front of you, why not? We have, like Kara said, we are blessed with so many resources, and you can choose to be overwhelmed by it, or you can choose to be grateful for it and use the resources to go do things. And then the last part of that was we can't extend an invitation we haven't already accepted. Have you accepted to level up? Have you accepted the challenge to do something and be something in life, whether it's this business or it's something else? Choose to take on that opportunity to be a better person, right? The rest of it I will leave until next time. But the next week we'll talk about leveling up, and we'll talk about the goals that we have, and maybe we'll have a little more brain power because we have slept and had real food, and no beach bars and Energize diet for 3 days. we'll be good to go. So drawing tomorrow morning for anyone that gets their 125 summit ticket by tonight. That 125 price goes away, I think at 11 p.m. our time. And so make sure that you get your tickets, tell all your teams about it, tag people, put your stuff underneath that post, tag your coaches if you want to do that. Yes, do that as soon as the call is over, please do. And let's get everyone there. I'm also looking at, like I said earlier, I've been talking about finding Airbnbs already and trying to find something that will work for everyone, something that's close, and we'll kind of go from there. All right, questions, thoughts, picture. Yes, we need a picture. I'm gonna stop